What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 51 of the Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC, and today I've got for you guys a live commentary against the one, the only. It's going to be Blackburn Rovers today, a massive game for us. They are right up with us at the top of the table, of course. If you watched last episode, you know exactly what's going on. If you missed it, go check it out. Episode 50, a live com double-header special, and they were two pretty good games as well. Anyway, I thought we'd start on this screen just for a bit of a change of pace. You know, I've not really shown the kind of general screen or the facility screen, but maybe a few names here that will be jumping out at you in terms of legends, in terms of icons, and in terms of favourite personnel. Players like Maddison, obviously, of recent times, but then a little bit of a throwback to players like Hanbury, Dan Townsend, who, if we'd look here, 31 years old now, living his life out in Chadderton. And, of course, what a player he was for us back in the day. But really, we need to focus on the here and now, don't we? There's no point in reflecting on the past with a league to win, or at least try to win. Of course, last episode was the games against Crewe and Bury. Since then, as you can see, we've played a decent amount of games, 7 in total. 2 in cup competitions. You can see we have made it into the FA Cup third round, which is good to see. A little bit disappointingly, we've got a draw against MK Dons in the first round, a championship side. Because of how close the league is, I may not even cover that game, to be honest, just because I don't know how interesting it's going to be. But anyway, let's look through all of these results. Starting with the first one, which was against Pompey. Good little win, 3-2. It was relatively comfortable at the end of the game. I did go into defensive, I did try and see things out, but we managed to see things out, and we got the 3 points, which was always important. And yeah, a good little away win and what could have been a potentially slightly tricky tie. Anyway, in the next game we took on Carlisle. It was a closer game than I'd like, if I'm honest. You know, I expect us to beat Carlisle, a team who are languishing in the depths of kind of League 2 at this point. But they made things tricky for us, and actually I thought it may have even been going to a replay this game. That was, of course, before Jack Barmby grabbed an 82nd minute goal. Very important strike for us, which put us in a good situation. Anyway, following on from that, you can see our form hasn't really been that great in our last 5 games. Just the 1 win in the league of the 4 games we played. The first defeat we had came against Wycombe. It was a close game, chances either way. You'd have to say Wycombe probably deserved to get something from the game. It was a game of really few chances, if we're being honest. You know, Kevin Kelly didn't have the greatest game. James Maddison, not the greatest game. Jake Keskiff as well. You know, some of our more creative players, I guess, that you hope will turn up, just really didn't turn up. And it was the first time in, well, quite a while, as you can see, that we didn't score. Anyway, following on from that, we did take on Tranmere, a side who, of course, won the League 2 playoff last year to get promoted alongside us. You can see here, we ended up winning 2-1 with Kevin Kelly grabbing both the goals. But, well, let me tell you now, when it was 1-1 and in the 53rd minute, James Maddison missed a penalty, my head was in my hands. I thought we'd blown it. I thought we'd blown a great opportunity, you know, to get a win. Fortunately, obviously, there was still plenty of time left in the match. We did go and get, you know, the second goal to get us the win, but for a little while it kind of felt like it was just going to be one of those days. But good to get the win, and another win that we got this time, not done in regulation time. This went to penalties. It was the Checkerade or Checker Trade. Why do I want to call it Checkerade? I don't know. Maybe we should just call it the Cherryade Trophy. Does that work? Either way, we won it. It's a bit of a Mickey Mouse competition. We won a penalty shootout. We've got a draw against Arsenal's under 23s. In the third round. I mean, I don't know. It's a stupid tournament, in my opinion, in real life. So there you go. We're still in that, I guess. Anyway, going back to the league where things really matter, we actually lost 1-0 against Fleetwood. And James Maddison, he missed another penalty. A player who, he doesn't have great penalty taking, but he certainly doesn't have terrible penalty taking. Obviously, composure, finishing, and penalty taking itself, the 3 attributes that kind of make up how good a player is at taking spot kicks. So for him to miss the amount he has recently, maybe a little bit of a cause for concern, and even more so, I guess, in this game, because it did actually cost us, Fleetwood running out 1-0 victors. In our most recent game, we did get, I guess, somewhat back on the straight and narrow. James Maddison getting a goal. It finished 1-1. It was a close game. In the end, I was kind of relieved just for the game to end, for the full-time whistle to go, and for us to get the 1 point. But really, that gives you an idea of just how rough this run of form's been. Anyway, in terms of who we're taking on today, of course, it's Blackburn Rovers. And if we just cast our minds back, that briefly, back to the first day of the season, we, of course, beat them 4-3 away from home at Ewood Park. Of course, since then, kind of the pecking order has changed somewhat. In the most recent games for Blackburn, actually, they took on Millwall. And if we look at that result real quick, just so you guys can see it, you can see that Millwall actually won that game 2-1. So Blackburn going to be looking, obviously, to get a good result. And if we just look at the league as a whole, you can see there is ourselves, Millwall and Blackburn, with a little bit of a cushion. Obviously, 5 points clear of Bury, who are in 4th. who of course we played last episode. But yeah, there's kind of the three leading leaders of the pack right now, and a win for us here would give us a good little bit of breathing room onto Blackburn in third. Of course, you can see after this game there will be just 20 games left of the season. We still do have Millwall to play, and I imagine that'll be the game that comes up next episode, if everything goes to plan. That game right in just 2 weeks, actually. You can see the fixtures coming thick and fast, of course, over the Christmas and New Year period. But anyway, let's focus on the here and now, just to look at Blackburn's side real quick. Of course, I did look at them a little bit at the start of the season, but they've got a very, very good kind of squad as a whole. Of course, recently relegated. You can see they've got Twan Zembe here, who is a former, I believe, Manchester United youngster. Yeah, you can see he's actually in on loan from Arsenal for this season. But if we just flick through their players, they've got some good quality. Like, it's going to be a tricky day today. They've got Gary Cahill, aged 36. He's not bad for this level of football, put it that way. But yeah, they've got a good side. You can kind of see flicking through here. Their team, it's better than our team. Maybe not by the biggest of margins, but they will be big favourites going into this game. Of course, if we just look at the season odds at the start of the year, they were the favourites to win the league along with Millwall, and you can see those two sides right up there. We, of course, were, I think, 19th or 20th favourite, like in terms of where we were predicted to finish. We're up to 17th. Obviously, these odds, they're meant to dynamically update. They don't seem to do a particularly great job, though, if I'm being honest. Do you want to just mention the fact that we have been getting a lot of different manager changes in the league? You can see, so far this year, we've had, how many? A lot. I think 10 or 12 manager changes. That's quite a lot for half a season in League One, but I think because of the nature of how close the league has been, I mean, you can see it's still ridiculously close. Oldham in kind of 21st on 31 points. Really, well, I mean, all the way up to Bury. You know, there is, 8 points separating 21st to 4th. Yeah, I feel like the chairman have got fairly reactionary. You know, they see their side lose a game and drop down to, say, 17th in the example of Birmingham. They sack their manager even though he's only lost 2 games. But I guess other teams' instability is our kind of benefit, and hopefully we can thrive off that. Of course, Blackburn that we take on today, now under Tim Sherwood, was a newly appointed manager, so this is going to be a slightly different challenge to what we had last time out. You'll notice the date is the 28th of December. We did have a game on Boxing Day just 2 days ago, so player fitness may well play a role in this game. You can see I've got all my players obviously resting. And in terms of our team for today's game, this is the squad we've got. Just a little bit of injury news. Liam Evans, unfortunately, been suffering from an injury, which if we just look at here, pulled his hamstring. It was in a match, was out for 3 to 4 weeks. He's kind of on the road to recovery, but he's not fully fit, unfortunately. But I mean, the 20-year-old, he's had his few injury problems this year. I'm hoping he's going to put them behind him. In terms of the goal-scoring issues, I guess Kevin Kelly's been getting some goals for us. And actually, Sambu has got some goals for us as well on off the bench. You can see 3 goals in his last 5 games. So he's an option on the bench. But in truth, we are missing just kind of having a little bit of stability when it comes to having a striker who's just lashing them in for us. I mean, you look at Kevin Kelly and go, oh, 12 goals, that's pretty good. 12 goals in 27 games. I guess that's not terrible, but I always aspire to, have at least one player, I guess, in my team with a minimum of a goal every other game, and that is something that we are lacking right now. I say that, we're not lacking it. James Maddison's up there, but I mean, in terms of an actual striker to lead the line. So anyway, this is the team we're going to go with. Obviously, massive game for us today against Blackburn Rovers. Rob Elliott in goal. Left back, we of course go with Chris Owens. Had a pretty good season so far, to be fair to him. O'Neill at right back. Maybe a player I look to replace in the summer. Maybe even in the winter if I can. Obviously, financial fair play limits our wages this year, which is a bit of a pain. Anyway, in the centre-back positions, Will Packwood obviously joined the club at the start of the year, really has bed in nicely now, a 7.22 average rating for him in the league. Alongside him, Harry Lennon, of course, had a brief kind of spell when he was on the sidelines injured. He's back from that, fully fit, not had any kind of real problems there. Centre mids, we are going to go with McGeehan, of course, a new player who joined the club. Not the greatest start, if I'm being completely honest. I'm hoping he can kick on and give some improvements to the 26-year-old. Of course, a Northern Irish international. Perhaps also worth noting that McNair, who I was looking at one point, if we just look at contracts who has expired, we are considered now a realistic club for him to join. Paddy McNair, maybe a player I'd like to get, and I think he could add a lot to the squad. He's only 26 as well, so he could be a useful player for a few years. Anyway, Hesketh is going to play alongside in the deep line playmaker role. Had a great start to the season. To be fair to him, his average rating isn't that bad compared to, maybe some previous years. Of course, you look at his previous record in League One, he always struggled in this division. He's kind of, improved a little bit under our kind of, I guess, leadership over the last year, and he's kind of looking like a pretty kind of standard League One player at this point. Anyway, on the left we go with Jack Barmby. Had some issues with injury, to be honest. He's been a little bit disappointing as of late. No goals and no assists in his last 5 games. Hoping that Barmby can turn it around today. Mayo Waters at right mid. Similar situation, actually. Lack of goals and lack of assists from our wide men. Need them to step up. Obviously, we have had a little bit of a slump in form, but, well, this would be the perfect opportunity to bounce back. James Maddison, obviously, at centre attacking mid. 25 years old now. He has improved a little bit, I think, since he joined us. He's still a very, very good player, of course, even at this level. Fan favourite as well. Leading player for League One sides. Consistent performer. Very determined. Sometimes goes missing in the big games, though. Hopefully this isn't one of those days today. And of course, up top for today's game, at least initially, we have Kevin Kelly on loan from Watford. He's been good for us, potential to be a League One player, decent Sky Bet League One champion, Sky Bet League One striker, and you can see here 12 goals in 21 games in the league. It's not too shabby. Anyway, let's get into today's game. I'm hoping for a good result, of course. So defeat here against Blackburn, depending on how Millwall get on, could see us slip outside of the automatic promotion spots for the first time in a while. You can see, looking at the odds, Blackburn, favourites at the moment. Apparently our key man is Sambu. He's on the bench. He's waiting in the wings to maybe come on for us. But yeah, Millwall play Tranmere, so we want to get a win here. We are at home, so I think the minimum expectation is to avoid defeat. We'll see how we get on. Looking at how they're going to line up, the Blackburn are going to play a 4-1-2-1 or a 4-3-3. It kind of counters our system just a little bit. But at the same time, of course, last time we met Blackburn, we played them and they were playing a flat 4-4-2. We were able to find some gaps in their team. I feel like maybe with this system, the gaps aren't going to be there for us to exploit, and actually they match up quite nicely against us. And with the teams being fairly evenly matched in terms of personnel, quality, and maybe even a little bit in Blackburn's favour, this could be a tricky game, but we'll see what we can do. As we are on the attack, actually, Mayo Waters, it's an ambitious effort. Still not cleared, actually. Barmby to Hesketh. Nice ball out wide to Chris Owens. Can he whip it in? Plays it to McGeehan. Is he going to hit it from there? Surely not. Barmby. Nice build-up play. Can we have some end product? Ball to the back post, cleared away. And actually, Blackburn now going to look to hit on the counter. Although now we hit on the counter. What a tackle and pass by Lennon, the club captain. Fantastic vision there. I questioned Jack Barmby. I questioned, could he do it? Where has he been lately? No goals, no assists. He gets a goal within the first 2 minutes of this game. Nice little bit of play. Lennon, superb defending by the defender here. Breaks down the counter-attack. They have got Jerome Sinclair, a very pacey forward, of course. Barmby, one touch to take it down on that right peg of his. Slots it away. Makes it 1-0. Perfect start to this game as far as we're concerned. Lots of pressure now on Blackburn to make something happen. Looking at it, we're dominating possession. Of course, 5 minutes gone, but it's good to see us not showing really any nerves early on in this game. And also, I think the guy who just got booked for Blackburn is their defensive midfielder. So he might be treading a bit of a tight walk in this game. But anyway, 20 minutes gone here. Not, many chances since that opening, but we are controlling the ball quite nicely. 68% of possession. Maybe Blackburn looking to hit us on the counter. We are a team that, of course, do like to push quite a few men up the field. We are a little bit susceptible, perhaps, to the counter. But actually, it's going to be Blackburn here. Edge of the box. They've got it. Sinclair to Akpan. Hits the woodwork. Lennon gets it clear. What an effort that was by, I assume it's Hope Akpan in the centre of midfield for Blackburn. They're not a player, I guess, known for his attacking intent, but he did well there. But, well, Blackburn, another chance. This time kind of read by Elliot well in goal. And now can we maybe build from the back here? The goalkeeper spreads out wide to Mayo Waters. Actually, a little bit of space inside. Unfortunately for him, a little bit isolated. But we still do have the ball here. Hesketh. Maybe an option of a through ball out wide to Barmby. Barmby now inside to McGeehan. Lovely build-up play once more for us. We are really controlling the ball nicely this game. Now with Kelly. Mayo Waters. Out wide to O'Neill. Can he whip in a ball? He shoots. A little bit greedy maybe. Jed Steer able to kind of parry it clear. And now Blackburn actually going to look to hit us on the counter. But well read by Hesketh to just kind of, I guess, exterminate that attack before it even began. But yeah, 66% of the ball in our favour. Unfortunately, we're having a lot of this ball. We've not created that many chances. But we are on the attack again here. We have got a few men forward as well. Kelly driving forward. Maddison ahead of him. Maddison dispossessed. But still on the attack here. O'Neill, the right back, really in an advanced position here. And Kelly, lovely finish there. Makes it 2-0. It's his 13th goal of the season. O'Neill, the right back, with the assist. And as we're talking, I've just seen the fact that Millwall are currently drawing 1-1. So a good kind of set of results, I guess, as things stand for us. O'Neill puts the ball in along the deck, drives it in well, and Kelly just latches onto it. And in a similar way to the ball that was given to him, he just drills it low and hard into that bottom corner. Keeper can't react. 2-0 at the break. Couldn't really ask for a better first half performance. I'm actually going to go on control for this second half because I don't think we need to commit quite as many men forward in the attack. I'm also actually going to switch Owens and O'Neill just to be on the defend duty. You know, we're 2-0 up in this game. We're dominating the ball nicely. Let's just try and control the game even more now. Let's not take quite so many risks. We've got a 2-goal cushion. Let's just make sure our defensive back four is, you know, not really caught out now. And let's just see if we can maintain this, I guess. Millwall are now winning 2-1, unfortunately. But a win for us here, as I already said, would see us go 4 points clear of Blackburn, which I think has to really be the minimum aim in terms of this game. Gary Cahill, I've just noticed, coming on off the bench, so maybe a threat in the air from a set piece or two there against us. Team is tiring a little bit, which is a little bit of a concern. Of course, the 2 games back-to-back, you know, a bit of an issue. I might take off James Maddison here for Romano. The issue is I feel like he can change a game kind of instantaneously. I'm trying to think what I can do. I could play Kelly. Kelly doesn't play centre attacking mid. Evans plays centre attacking mid. I don't really want to change things. I mean, I could play Barmby out wide on the right and then bring in McLaughlin to play out on the left. That works. That does still leave us with Maddison on the pitch, but Maddison can change a game for us. Chris Owens is tiring, but I don't have a left-back option on the bench. Or at least not kind of a fresh-legged left-back. So I think we'll keep with that for now, you know, just the one change. But still 2 goals to the good with 20 minutes left. I am curious, just really quickly, to check Blackburn. Yeah, you can see here their team's tiring as much as ours is. A few players with 50% condition. They've used all the subs, but they have just scored. Maybe a bit of squeaky bum time about to commence right now. We need to maybe just hold on to the ball a little bit more, slow down the tempo. Let's just sit deeper as well. We don't need to play quite as, I guess, crazily here. We can be a little bit more structured in our play. Hold up the ball. I could maybe drop McLaughlin and Barmby just back a little bit as well. That kind of makes sense, I think, just to, you know, give us some good shape here. We're dominating the ball well, so I don't really want to go on defensive and just let Blackburn have the ball. And, well, McLaughlin on off the bench, he scores, and, well, maybe we can breathe a sigh of relief. You know, the 1-goal margin. Last time we played Blackburn, some of you may remember, we were 3-0 up, we were 4-1 up, it ended up 4-3, and the goals came very late on for Blackburn. I don't want a repeat of that today. And, well, McLaughlin on off the bench, he scored a few goals for us, to be fair, the left winger. We're only really brought in as a backup for Barmby if he ever got injured. But when we've called upon him, he seems to have done fairly well in the big games for us, and that's all you can really ask for, I guess. Anyway, we do have the ball again here. We are on the attack. McLaughlin, fresh pair of legs. Can he beat his man? He can. Goes inside to Hesketh. Now with Maddison. Obviously, any damage we can inflict to Blackburn's goal difference is, you know, encouraged, I guess, in this game as McLaughlin's coming for. Maddison, Steer, lovely save by Jed Steer. Maddison, not a bad effort by him. He's not had the greatest of games, in truth. And, well, maybe had a chance there that he has wasted. But at the same time, we're 3-1 up. We're still going fairly strong in this game. Although, you know, if Blackburn were to get one now, would it leave us a little bit uncomfortable for the last 5 minutes? It probably would. Defensively, we're a bit all over the place here. We need to reform if we can, and we do. And now can we break? McLaughlin, I'm looking at you on the left wing, son. You've got the fresh legs on off the bench to really run around and, you know, I guess put in the effort. Although I expect all the players to put in an effort. But if you've come on off the bench, you should be working twice as hard as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, Barmby cutting inside on his left peg. A little bit of an ambitious effort. Was saved in the end by Steer. I'm going to go on contain just to waste what time is left in this game. You know, I was about to say, why go on control? There isn't a lot of point. We've got a 2-goal cushion to work with, although we might still have a chance here. Kelly, Maddison on ahead. Maddison, he should have scored again there. He skied it this time. We've had opportunities in this game. It could have been a few more. But it looks like now we are going to get the much-needed win. You know, our form's been fairly patchy, but against the big teams this season, we've done the business. And to do the double, I guess, over Blackburn, who are a team who look like they will be getting promoted, or at least be right up there at the end of the season, that's very, very pleasing indeed. No one gave us a chance, boys. Very pleased with that. A great win. We dominated the game. We deserved to win it. Jerome Sinclair kept very, very quiet. Sam Boo didn't even come on off the bench. Lennon, man of the match performance. He was superb. today, which is kind of what we've come to expect, I guess. Millwall did win, so I think next episode we will be doing that game against them. But nice now to get that 4-point cushion onto Blackburn. Have also inflicted some hurt on their goal difference. And looking at it here, actually, the kind of pack, I guess, behind Bury, getting a little bit separated from us now. 8 points behind us, Southend in 5th, which is good to see because it would be nice, I guess, for a little bit of peace of mind more than anything to pull away from this kind of mid-table pack. You've got so many teams separated, really, from Tranmere, 33 points, all the way to Notts County on 37. Like, a few defeats and wins either way, you could get pulled into that mess. So we want to avoid that mess as best we can. And, well, wins against the likes of Blackburn are the kind of, results which are going to ensure that for us this year. But anyway, in terms of when we'll be back for the next episode, it's a good question. I've not really thought about it. I mentioned Millwall. I think that will be the game we do. It's not that far away, but as I said, I'm not going to do that FA Cup game. Millwall, it's only 2 weeks away. Going to be a big game for us. A win against them could really put us on course for a very, very good league position. And it might be with bated breath after that game, if we could get the win, I might even utter the words promotion under my breath. But anyway, we'll end things there, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Fantastic result today against Blackburn. If you have enjoyed, as always, leave a like. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.